The dust of Cylon Prime was a fine, red grit that got into everything. The seals of Liam's environmental suit, the joints of his mining rig, and most damningly, his lungs. He coughed, a wet, rattling sound that echoed in the cramped cockpit of the hauler. The readout on his console flashed a relentless, accusing red. Income, 1,247 credits. Debt to Galactic Minerals Corp., 89,502 credits. He was a ghost already, just waiting for his body to catch up. The corporate indenture was a life sentence. They'd advance him the cost of the rig, the transport, the license. They owned the claim, the ore, and by extension him. The fever, a silicate lung rot unique to Cylon Prime, was just the universe expediting the process. Liam was so lost in the bleak arithmetic of his failure that he didn't hear the approach. There was no engine whine, no crunch of tires. Only a shadow, vast and sudden, that fell over the hauler's cockpit, blotting out the system's weak orange sun. He looked up, and his heart stuttered. She was immense, easily 8 feet tall and built of corded muscle and sleek, blue-gray chitin that gleamed like oiled stone. Her face was an elegant, fearsome triangle, with large, multifaceted eyes that held the cool, calculating depth of a predator. Her powerful arms, 2 larger and 2 slightly smaller, were crossed over her torso. She was a Vath, he realized with a jolt of primal fear, a species known for their matriarchal, warrior-hunter culture and their terrifying physical prowess. Before he could even reach for the hauler's feeble distress beacon, her voice resonated, not through the air, but directly in his mind. It was a cool, clear stream of thought, utterly certain. Your scent is wrong. You are sick. You are failing. Liam could only stare, his mouth agape. I am Kaelin of the Sunken Peaks clan. I am a widow. My mate fell to the Skyfawn predators 2 cycles ago. She took a step closer, her long, powerful legs moving with a grace that belied her size. I have observed you, human. You are persistent. You work until your body breaks. This is a trait of value. Observe me. Liam finally managed to croak. What do you want? Her head tilted. The proposition is simple. I require a husband, and you require strong offspring. The absurdity of it was so profound that Liam laughed, a short, bitter bark that turned into another coughing fit. He spat a glob of red-tinged phlegm into a rag. Lady, you got the wrong guy. I'm not husband material. I'm a walking corpse with a debt. And strong offspring? I can barely keep myself alive. Precisely. Her mental voice was implacable. Your genetic line is terminally weak in this environment. My line is strong. A union would correct this deficiency in the next generation. Your persistence, paired with Vath resilience. It is a logical solution for both our predicaments. My predicament is that I'm owned by a corporation and dying of space consumption. Not exactly a great foundation for a family. The corporation holds no power here, she stated, as if explaining gravity to a child. The sickness can be purged. My clan possesses the means. Your debt is a number on a screen. It is meaningless. It's not meaningless to them. Liam gestured wildly at the console's red numbers. They'll send repo squads. They'll drag me back to a corporate penal colony. Kaelin's multifaceted eyes seemed to harden. Let them come. They would make poor sport. She unfolded one of her larger arms and extended a claw-tipped hand towards him. This is my offer, human. Liam, come with me. Be my husband. Help me build a new lineage. In return, I will grant you health, a purpose beyond this scratching in the dirt, and a clan that values your strength, not a debt you owe. It was insane. It was monstrous. It was the most terrifying proposition he had ever heard. But as he looked from her unwavering form to flashing red console, from her vibrant, powerful body to his own trembling, fever-racked hands, he saw the 2 paths of his life with stark clarity. One path led to a slow, dusty death in a corporate metal coffin, utterly forgotten. The other led into the unknown with a giant, alien widow. With a sigh that felt like it came from the very bottom of his soul, Liam shut down the hauler's console. The red light died. He opened the cockpit hatch, the dry, dusty air hitting his face. He looked up at her. My name is Liam, he said, his voice steadier than he felt. I know, she replied. Come, husband, our home awaits. Life with Kalen was nothing like he could have imagined. Their home was not a hut, but a vast, beautifully carved network of caverns within a towering mesa, far from the corporate mining zones. The air was clean, filtered through strange, bioluminescent fungi that grew in cascades from the ceilings. The first week was a blur of terror and wonder. Kalen was as good as her word. The clan shaman, an ancient Vath female with a carapace the color of moonlight, administered a pungent poultice and a steaming brew. The cure was agonizing. He felt like his lungs were being scoured with fire and reassembled. But when the fever broke, he drew his first deep, clear, painless breath in over a year. He wept with the relief of it. Kalen was not a gentle partner in any human sense. She was direct, demanding, and saw the world through a lens of pure pragmatism and strength. She began to train him. Your body is soft. Your fighting style is inefficient, she declared on the first day of training, after effortlessly disarming him of the mining laser cutter he'd thought to use as a weapon. You rely on tools as a crutch. A Vath body is a primary tool. She taught him to use his smaller size and lower center of gravity to his advantage. She showed him how to read an opponent's muscle tension, how to strike at the vulnerable joints in a chitinous plate, how to use her own greater strength and multiple limbs against her by getting in too close for her to swing effectively. It was grueling. He was bruised, battered, and exhausted. But for the first time since he'd signed that corporate indenture, he felt alive. He was learning, growing, becoming stronger not for a credit balance, but for survival, for a place in this new, strange world. He learned about her people. The Vath were matriarchal. Females were the warriors, hunters, and leaders. Males were smaller, often artisans, strategists, and caretakers of the young. Kalen's offer had not been one of subservience, but of partnership, a merging of complementary traits. She brought the strength and ferocity of the Vath. He was meant to bring the tenacity and cleverness of humanity. One evening, as they shared a meal of roasted lithogrub, which was surprisingly tasty like earthy poultry, he asked a question that had been gnawing at him. Why me, Kalen? Really, you could have had any male from your own clan, or a stronger, healthier human from one of the frontier outposts. She regarded him, her multifaceted eyes reflecting the fungal light. The males of my clan are predictable. Their genes are known. My line requires new strength, new potential. I saw you fighting a losing battle not with rage, but with a quiet, desperate endurance. You did not give up. That is a different kind of strength. Liam, a deeper one. It is a strength that builds civilizations, not just wins battles. Her words settled in him, warm and solid. He realized with a start that he was no longer just a struggling man from the dust. He was her husband. The repo squad arrived 3 months later. 2 armored hover transports, emblazoned with the Galmin Corp logo, descended into the canyon near the mesa. 6 heavily armed guards in combat exosuits fanned out, led by a sneering foreman named Jax. Liam was tending to the fungal gardens when a proximity alarm, a trained bat-like creature, shrieked. Kalen was at his side in an instant, her body thrumming with low, predatory energy. They have come for you, she stated. I'll talk to them, Liam said, a strange calm settling over him. Maybe I can make them see reason. Reason is not the language they speak, Kalen replied. But speak your piece, husband. I will be here. Liam walked out to the canyon floor. Alone, he wore simple, tough hide garments fashioned by the clan, his corporate jumpsuit long since discarded. Jack saw him and grinned, a nasty, gap-toothed smile. Well, look what the Dragner dragged in. Thought you could hide out here, Ross? Playing house with the bugs? Your debt's due. The debt is void, Liam said, his voice even. I'm not your property anymore. I found a new life here. Jax laughed, and his men chuckled with him. A new life? You're a dead man walking, Ross. And we're the collectors. Either you come quietly or we add property damage to your bill when we scrap that hauler of yours. I'm not coming with you, Liam said. Jax's smile vanished. Fine. The hard way it is. He gestured to his men. Bag him. 2 guards in exosuits stomped forward. Liam didn't run. He didn't beg. He simply stood his ground. Just as the first guard reached for him, a shadow fell over them. Kaylin dropped from the mesa wall above, landing between Liam and the guards with an impact that shook the ground. She rose to her full, terrifying height, her forearms spread, a low, resonant growl emanating from her that was not telepathic, but a physical vibration they could all feel in their bones. The guards froze. Jack stared, his face pale. What in the 7 hells? You threatened my husband. Kaylin's voice sliced into all their minds, cold and sharp as a shard of ice. You trespass on my clan's land. You will leave. Now. It's just one big one. Jack shouted, recovering some of his bravado. Focus fire. The guards raised their plasma rifles. But they were slow, clumsy in their suits. Kaylin moved like liquid lightning. She closed the distance in a blur, her primary arm smashing the rifles in the first 2 guards' hands while her smaller arms delivered precise, shattering blows to the knee joints of their exosuits. They crumpled with screams of metal and pain. She was a whirlwind of controlled violence, a demigod of war moving among mortals. She used their weight against them, their fear against them. In less than 30 seconds, all 6 guards were disarmed and disabled, their expensive exosuits lying in broken heaps around them. Jack stood alone, fumbling for the pistol at his hip. Liam was suddenly in front of him. He moved with a speed and confidence the foreman had never seen in the broken miner he'd known. I told you, Liam said, his voice quiet but firm. The debt is void. I am no longer yours. He glanced at Kaylin, who stood poised, ready to strike. He gave a slight, almost imperceptible shake of his head. Then he looked back at Jax. Go back to Galman. Tell them Liam Ross is dead. Tell them he was claimed by Silent Prime. It's the truth. Terrified, Jax scrambled back into his hover transport, leaving his men to limp and crawl into the other. The vehicles whined to life and shot back into the sky, fleeing the canyon. Silence returned, broken only by the moans of the retreating guards. Kaylin walked to Liam's side, her powerful form radiating satisfaction. She looked down at him, and for the first time, he sensed something new in her mental presence. Not just approval, not just pragmatic satisfaction. It was respect. It was pride. You fought well, she sent. I didn't fight at all, he replied. You did. You stood before them, unbroken. You claimed your new life. That was a victory. She placed one of her larger hands on his shoulder, the touch surprisingly gentle. Our offspring will be formidable. Liam looked up at his giant, alien wife, at the home they had built together in the stone, and at the vast, open sky, no longer a prison of debt, but a canvas of possibility. He had come to her a struggling man, and she had offered him strength. Now he realized he had given her something in return. He had given her a future.